Are you looking for a job? Well, forget it, because I've got something better. A show about getting a job. So I recently binged a show on Amazon Prime called The Job Lot. It's a British comedy show that I think aired in like 2013. I originally started watching it on the BritBox. It's a British TV app. I think I only did the week trial and I didn't finish it. I got a few episodes in and it was all right. I wasn't too into it, but I gave it a second chance and I finished it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a show about working in an office. I mean, it gives very similar vibes to The Office and Parks and Rec, except this show doesn't have the device where the characters go off and have their own side interviews. It's about a group of people that work at a job center and try to help the unemployed find employment. Kind of like PenMac here in the States. It's led by Trish, who has recently been on like a mental health break. She's been through a divorce and is going through a lot of emotional distress, but she tries to keep the workplace extremely positive. Angela is her like polar opposite. She's basically a very self-centered narcissist, who ends up causing some of the episodic issues. She's just downright mean. There were some episodes where the things that she did kind of surprised me a little bit. And you've got Trish's like kind of like second in command, aspiring artist, Carl. He seems to help Trish out the most and is played by none other than Daddy Russell. Carl also hates his job and there's several times where he tries to leave, but then he doesn't. You got George, who basically takes care of people that are committing fraud with their benefits. You got two wacky security guards, Jeanette, the kind of like happy-go-lucky grandma, and you've got Paul, who's very easily emasculated. There's also a character named Ash, who I kind of relate to. He's only in like the last 5 episodes of the series. He's basically a psychologist. He's kind of that like, not really innocent, but he's got like innocent energy. He's kind of like that, you know, weird, awkward guy, like kind of outcast that tries to fit in. Let's just say he's a little bit like me, kind of. And then you've got Greg. He's an asshole. I hate him. Fuck you, Greg. Danielle in the first season didn't seem like she had much to do and became kind of forgettable. There are 2 regularly visiting unemployed people. They just hang around the job center like every day. You've got Graham, who's like he's not all there. And I don't know how to explain him. You're always looking at his hairy chest. He just says a lot of loony things. Then you've got Bryony, who's like very entitled, extremely sassy, and she basically finds any and all excuse to not find a job. So I mentioned that I originally gave this a shot and I almost kind of quit watching. That's because it started out a little slow, especially the pilot, but that's usually how pilots are. But I gave it another chance because I remember whenever I tried watching Parks and Rec, I watched the pilot to that and I wasn't really captivated. But then a while went by and then I tried it again. I watched a few episodes and then I was like, oh shit, this is my shit. And that's what happened with this show. I think by the 4th or 5th episode, I was like, okay, it's picking up. It's actually pretty funny. That's when I started laughing pretty hard. And then seasons 2 and 3, I spent half of each episode just like laughing my ass off. The concepts and plots just became zany and out there, and a lot of it was like laughter like based off of embarrassment for the characters, but a lot of it, there was just a lot of out-of-pocket shit that happened. So the first season is, like I mentioned, it starts off pretty slow. I think that's probably just where they were just figuring out what they wanted to do and how to make everything go along. Most of the first season, I was going to give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I was like, it's not bad, but it's just kind of like boring. The first few episodes were, to me, a little boring. I thought, and I was like, hey, you know what? If I was just looking to like really relax and just have something in the background while I was working on something, it was very chill at the beginning. Not bad. Not too much was going on. I mean, there was that time when Bryony threw I think a stapler at Carl's head. She threw something. I might have been in the first episode. So I was gonna give it a 5 or a 6 at first, but then I was finishing up the first season and I was like, oh, this is actually picking up. I'm gonna watch the second season and see how it goes. I think they started figuring out what they wanted and how they wanted it to go because they ramped up the energy for the second and third seasons. The first season was pretty chill. The theme music was, I believe, what was it? It's by Willie Nelson, but it was just a really relaxing Bring Me Sunshine by Willie Nelson. It was just like a little time lapse of the outside of the job center. The set, like the walls of the center just seemed, I think the walls were just like grayish. Like it was kind of flat, just tone. Like it was like kind of cozy. However, the second season comes along and the intro music is just this like EDM, and they repainted the set very vibrant, you know, bright blues and pinks and red and orange. And they also filmed outside of the center more, you know, at people's apartments, at different areas, even just plain old outside. They did a lot more with those seasons, and that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this like a 7 or an 8. They just had wackier plot devices, such as people were confused on whether it was Trish or Natalie that was pregnant, even though neither of them were. Sorry, I forgot to mention that Natalie comes in season 2 and is Trish's assistant and is also Carl's crush. There's one where everyone goes on strike and they're out in the rain. Carl gets walked in on several times while he's half naked, so that was funny and kind of hot. There's an episode where Trish wants Carl to donate his sperm to her because she's gonna try to be a single mother, and he's confused on how she wants to do it, so he's sitting on her couch half naked, like from waist down naked, thinking that she wants to have sex, but then she just comes out with rubber gloves and a turkey baster and goes, I don't want to have sex, I just want your sperm. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that out loud. Oh my god. I can't emphasize enough how much I was laughing. There were times I laughed for just like a minute or two straight because I just could not contain myself. Everything, like the last 2 seasons were just so out of pocket and out there. Oh my god, there's one episode where Trish is being like held hostage up on top of the center. So she throws her shoes down with notes. No, she throws one shoe down with like demands, and then another shoe down being like, can you bring my shoes back up? Oh my god, it was so funny. I did like the chillness, I don't know if that's a word, of the first season a bit. I did like how, cause like I said, like the second one, like it was very clear. I think they invested in a higher quality camera. It was just a bit more, even the camera shots just seemed like they had more energy. And I think the first season, it just seemed a bit more like chill. I did like at least the way it was shot. I think just the first few episodes, the humor and the writing were just a little, you know, not as energetic as the second season, but I do think that energy all around just helped the second and third seasons. So it was very good. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I touched on everything I wanted to, but I will say that it is free on Amazon Prime right now, on Prime Video. It has ads, obviously. I mean, I guess unless you pay for the ad list. I didn't pay for no ads because I think that's a fucking scam. I recommend it. There's 3 seasons. They're really short. They're 6 episodes a piece. I believe it ended in 2015 or 2016. I think there was like rumors about there being a 4th season, but I feel like that would have happened a long time ago. If you like stuff like The Office and Parks and Rec, I think you'll like it. Overall, I would give this show an 8 out of 10, somewhere around there. It ended up being better than I thought it was. I'm glad that I stuck around for a couple of extra episodes. Maybe I just have a weird sense of humor, but I don't remember the last time I laughed that hard at a show. So, yep. I highly recommend it in my book. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about this random British comedy show. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. I've got more shows and movies that I want to talk about on here. I literally just watched the Puss in Boots movies like a couple weeks ago for the first time ever. I love them. I bought the Blu-rays, so I think I'm gonna talk about those because I just want to talk about more shows and movies that I adore because I love talking about shit that I love. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.